All right, we're back again around the turn. Off a little break. We're going to have those because, I'm important. I'm a busy person. Our guest today, not so much. So kind of at my beck and call, and that's what I appreciate about them. We'll get to them in a moment. First off, if you haven't checked out, if you were part of the winning, names, commenters from the first few episodes, producer Craig's going to throw it up right now. The spiel. Hey, hit us up. Some of you have not claimed your prizes. You definitely want that in the money subscription. You definitely want that $50 free bet. Probably going to use it on one of our guest picks today. Who knows? There you go. So get in touch with us by the end of this week. Let us know, or else I'm going to be forced to sell them on the black market. I may do it anyway. I don't know. I haven't decided. Folks, this is a different show if you're new to it and you're just checking it out, because we've got somebody that you really like on this show tonight. It's very simple. Each of our guests are going to have 60 seconds to make a case on a horse. We're only looking at a pick three. Nobody can pick the same horse. Okay, so this week, pick three, Ellis Park. I don't know what state it's in. It's probably not a good state. We'll just say that. A podunk state, certainly not a Tennessee. Tennessee's a nice state. But we'll get to that. Ellis Park, pick three, races 4 to 6. Our guests, let's start with a newcomer. He's a fan of the show and a guy who reached out, wanted to come on. And since Tyler Hoffman is on a meditation retreat, something about realigning chakras, I decided to have him on this week. Rob Romano. Rob, welcome to the show, and thanks for all the support, brother.
Still appreciate you having me on. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll probably see my Eagles and Phillies rants. I apologize. Or my horse racing tweets complaining. It's either those three things, but I appreciate you having me on, and I always like the show, always support you. You do a good job.
Thank you very much, Rob. He's also on because I'm 20% sure he's connected to the mafia. Next guest, you know him, you love him. He's been here since day one, still looking for that first victory. I think today he's got a good shot. He is the host of Redboard Rewind and voted senior year of his high school year as most likely to develop scoliosis. So there's that too. Spencer Luganville. Spencer.
What's going on, man? Racing, lost a pioneer this year this week in Harvey Pack. Just kind of want to dedicate the show to him this week. If without him, we probably don't have Talking Horses. I'm probably not here on this podcast.
Yeah, very true. And everybody go check out inthemoneymedia.com. Pete Fornatel did a really nice write-up on Harvey. I know a lot of people are going out and buying the May the Horse Be With You book that he did with Pete, with a lot of phenomenal stories. So I know, hey, this one's for Harvey. So great words. Next up, a newcomer on the block. He swears he bets horses. I don't know. He says he wrote a book, Betting with an Edge, allegedly. Pete usually writes books. But here he is, new guy on the block, Mike Maloney. Maloney. Mike Maloney.
Thanks, Alan. That's the most unusual introduction I ever had. I'll have to say that.
You're welcome. That's what we strive for, is unique.
Oh, and I want to second the Harvey Pack comments. I'm down with that too, and I'm gonna read as much of May the Horse Be With You before I go to bed tonight as I can get in.
Yeah, great stories in that book, and now it's I feel like there's a mad dash to get it. PTF probably has like half a dozen locked in a basement somewhere in one of his palatial estates. So hit him up. All right, let's start in race 4, Ellis Park. It's going to be very quick if you're new to the show, so keep up. We'll start with one Mike Maloney. What is the edge you're going to bet with here? Wow, I'm good. I'm so good. I am so good.
You set me right up. I'm going to go with number 2, Stellar Stiletto. for Jason Barkley. Jason Barkley's training the 1 and the 2 in this race, which would be my top 2 choices. So, maybe one scratches out, but I'm thinking he sends the 1 from the rail and the 2 falls into a pocket trip behind that. I like that spot. Barkley had a rough meet at Churchill, but his horses have run much better since we moved to Ellis, which is in Henderson, Kentucky, by the way.
Oh, that's something you hate to see.
I'm going with the 2.
All right, Rob, this is your first chance. Don't blow it. You have a decision to make. The guy who's written a book, who's well known, some say an idolized figure in this industry, gave you a layup with the 1. Are you taking the 1, or are you going to try and get cute and we're going to fade you?
I'm going to get cute. It's what I do.
Okay.
I really like the 3 in here, Holy Cookie. I think the way the race kind of sets up, it's a cheap claiming race. I think there's a lot of cheap speed in there. I always kind of look for a closer in that kind of race, especially when there's other speed signed on. I'm just hoping he sits a trip and the rest of these are tired and he comes and scoops them up. I know Ellis sometimes can favor speed, but the rest of these just seem so cheap to me. I mean, he's cheap too, don't get me wrong. But I think he just picks up the pieces. I think all these are going. You get a nice 22, maybe 44, 45. They're tired in mid-stretch, and he comes and picks up the pieces. I really like the 3.
It's weird to try and get cute wearing a Phillies hat. Interesting. Spencer, pick up the pieces. Just give us the 1.
I am taking Dixieland Dream. The last race, the non-winner is a 2. The buyer number fits coming into this race with the buyer par of 56. I like to see that usually when they jump up in class, if they can somewhat run around that buyer par. For me, that seems to be the nice natural fit. Like Mike said, speed from the rail. And I know that people say there's a lot of cheap speed in this race, but speed from the rail, usually it's the quickest part around the track last time I checked.
All right, points time. I'm very fair and judicious. Some have compared me to Stalin, Mussolini, very stern, very fair. And that's what I try to do here. Everybody made very interesting cases. Rob, you tried to get a little too cute. You don't get a point there. That's tough. Spencer, you picked up what Mike said. I really support plagiarism and cheating. So you get a full point. Mike, unfortunately, you didn't do any of that. So you get half a point. You made a fair point, but you get half a point. All right, so it's anybody's ball game going into the 5th race. Spencer, why don't you take your crack first up here?
So for me, I'm going to use the number 4 or the number 3 Futaro. I'm just going to go quick with the favorite. 61 buyer, first time out on the turf. Usually we see that nice improvement second time out. No one else really in here can run close to that 61. So if we see improvement on top of that, I think it's just going to be a nice little chalky second part of the pick 3 here.
Okay, Mike Maloney.
First of all, a comment about the scoring. Are you planning on being a steward anytime soon?
So I've been approached by 17 different tracks. My problem is I'm too fair, I'm too judicious. And that's why I don't want to align with anybody, but that's like an offline conversation.
Don't cut into my time too much. Who did Spencer pick? I forgot. You went on so long.
I picked the 3.
I'm going to go with the 5 in here. Not a strong opinion, but the game rules are you have to pick someone. So he's pretty lucky. Second time starter for Eddie Keneally. I went through the stats on this. He's 12% with second starters in turf routes. That's not great because he's a higher percentage trainer than that. But in this spot, you have to come up with someone. So he's pretty lucky for me.
All right, Mike Maloney betting the name. I like it. Rob, what do you like here?
I'm going to go with the 7 Stone Slinger. I mean, this is bottom, once again, this is bottom of the barrel, maiden 10 claimers. I mean, these guys are just, they're just looking to get anything at this point. He's dropping from a maiden to a maiden 10. They always say that's the biggest drop in horse racing, a regular maiden going into a maiden claimer. He's an American Pharaoh, first time getting on the grass. I'm sure they thought he was going to be a lot better than this, or they were hoping he'd be a lot better than this. And I don't even like that when they gelded him. Usually they'll give him another shot in a maiden race, but they're dropping him all the way to the bottom to a maiden 10. But hey, maybe the owners come out to the track, they get their picture taken, even though they're well down the line of making their money back probably. But I mean, in this kind of race in a maiden 10, why not take a shot with something like that?
All right, points time. Everybody made some solid points here. Spencer, once again, you get a full point. Bill Mott, I don't know how anybody else didn't want to pick this one. Just a great handicapping, exercise you're putting in. Full point to you. Mike, a quarter of a point. Struggling here. I do like, you get a quarter of a point just for, name base. I like picking horses based off names. I respect it, but hey, the folks out here want a little more. Rob, I'm going to give you a point, and only because I like the name of the horse. Okay, race 6, allowance. This is a nice race, actually. Rob, we're going to let you lead off, my friend.
I'm going to go with the Greg Foley horse on the outside. I like this horse cutting back. Back in February, they ran him at Fairgrounds at a mile. When they cut him back to 6, he broke his maiden, only in a maiden 30. Last time, 7 furlongs. He was up a little bit close to the pace. I watched that replay. Tired a little bit in the stretch. He makes the switch to Hernandez. He has a really good record when he puts Hernandez on. He's cutting him back to 5.5 furlongs. He is putting him on the grass, which is 1 star. It wasn't too great, but I really like the cutback here at 8-1.
Main track only for you main time players. Is that going to hurt you or help you? Spencer, you're up next.
For me, the number 5 Ignite looks really nice in this spot. Broke the maiden really impressively first time out. Deshaun Parker stays on. And I just feel with Ethan West, as you see, 20% with a huge positive ROI in these turf sprints. I'm really interested to see if this one can improve first time against winners, but that nice juicy bullet tells me this one will probably keep its form pretty well.
All right, salient points from our bearded friend, Mike. You're in the hole. Can you come back?
Hoping to get to an entire full point. I'm going with Hurricane Hill, the probable favorite for Bill Mott. Just think the classiest horse in the race, shipping in from New York. I have the rail and speed being favorable in his last start, and the horse was off the rail trying to close. So good race, a little against the grain of the track. Hurricane Hill for me.
All right, it is points time. Rob, you picked a horse named after Giannis Antetokounmpo. I like that. You get a point for that. However, you get a minus point because we don't even know if this horse is going to run because it's main track only. So it's
no, the 8's main track only. He's not main track.
No, the 8
only.
and 9 DRF. If you want to go against the 3-lettered company, you want to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't say that here. I have the
Who? Be very careful. Who?
No, I got the 3-letter word. I got
okay, well then you need to
I have the formulator up.
Okay, maybe for the wrong day. You argued a fair. I'll only take off 3/4 of a point.
Okay.
There you go. So you're up 0.25 points.
How's this? If it does, if that is true, it doesn't say it here, but if that is true, he's main track only. I'm definitely going with the 6, Norman Cash off the claim of Dale Romans with the 6 Pirate Rick.
Okay. Okay. because you said Norman Cash and he was a Detroit Tiger great, 10 points. Spencer, very good points. Once again, you have crushed this episode. 11 points to you, my friend. Great job. Mike, 473 points. Really good job picking the winner. And once again, I don't know how this keeps happening, Spencer. People just catch you in this last round. Mike, just coming from the clouds with a fantastic pick. Maybe the most information given on any episode. I love it. Congratulations, Mike. Where are you putting this in the pantheon of your career as far as achievements?
It's pretty near the top. I'm just glad that you gave me some full points, because I was going to go with the Norman Cash move if I had to before you shut the thing off. So, by the way, Norman Cash, where does he stand on the Detroit Tigers all-time home run list?
Oh, don't get him going. Here we go.
Wow.
Here we go. He's going to go into his Tigers.
Should, you broke up, Mike. I couldn't hear that question. And unfortunately, that's all we have for you. Gentlemen, thank you. Mike, we hope to have you down the road again, provided it does not interfere with Wheel of Fortune again. Sorry about that. Catch Spencer, Redboard Rewind. Rob, he'll probably be in page 6 of your local newspaper at some point. That's what I'm guessing. And folks, may the horse be with you. We'll catch you next time here on Around the Turn.